Hey, what's going on, guys? This is the High Counselor coming to you with a just a little video. I don't even know if this ain't gonna, hit a lot of people, make a lot of traction, but I kind of want to give my 2 cents, even though nobody asked my 2 cents. But since everybody put in their 2 cents and nobody asked for it, I might as well give my 2 cents when nobody asked for it. And it's about your boy ELVY. A couple days. I think it's about 10 days to the fact that we saw that your boy ELVY, you feel me, has been banned from DC. A lot of people is happy. A lot of people, kind of, is upset. They like ELVY. They grind with him. They did such and such with him. Whatever the case. And then you have a few peoples like me who kind of don't care. You know, he done nothing to me damaging, but I do know, back then, or not back then, really a couple weeks ago, he put out a Omega video. The Omega video was highly controversial. You feel me? What I'm saying? A lot of people fed their arts. A lot of people gave, bad advice after watching the video, and it turned out that was never the case. LV was just using a broken power, using not so strong artifact for his DPSing. So he thought it was nerfed. When no, water right now is just highly broken. I just came back to the game a couple weeks ago, and when I left, water was poor. I remember Hezzy did a video around the time that we both actually stopped playing the game. We took our breaks. Obviously he came back before I did, but he went up against a water player, a water DPS. This is before 5 trays of iconics, before the 2 trays ability, when art switching was pretty much at its peak. You feel me? And a water dude came up. I think Hezzy might have been gadgets. He could have been Earth, or he was a different power. He wasn't too top of a power, but water definitely got him in the end of the raid. So that was only unprecedented then. We ain't see that many water dudes do anything good besides healing. And healing, you really wanted an elect healer. So I mean, it was never heard of. Kawhi, shout out to that guy. Hezzy, shout out to him. Y'all put it to the test. But now water is broken. So when LV did the video, a lot of people fed their arts, didn't get the art, and at that time, double XP came back not only once but twice at the beginning of this year. And I ain't never seen that happen when I came back. A lot of stuff came through when I left. You get what I'm saying? But more to the point, LV, man, even though a lot of people was put off by him selling iconic, doing shady deals in the back room, whatever the frack he did. I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of like LV. Shocker. I kind of like LV. Uh, I ain't gonna ride. I ain't gonna ride to the point, but it was a bunch of contributing factors, a bunch of contributing facts that got me to coming back to DC. And when coming back to DC, I checked on my boy Hezzy. I used to watch him a bunch even before I left. Then I'm in mass society, so holidays definitely put me on game. Zazo, I really watch anybody in game. I try to be in game before I left. You get what I'm saying? So anybody who was in game, who try to be in game, you get what I'm saying? I'll watch them. I left before Obsidian Chill, so that was crazy to know that he actually left. And the person who actually brought me to the game, even though I checked those guys out, was LV. I'm not gonna lie. Surprising. I think, as the holidays brought me back. But no, it was LV. and I didn't know who he was because I think when I left, he stopped playing, or when he was stashed spot. But he wasn't on YouTube. I think if he was real small. Searching up DC stuff on YouTube, you can see mad people. You'll see multiverse. You'll see. I've been seeing Zazo a lot more. You see Holidays, Hezzy, Greg, you name it. But yeah, it was ELVY. So I went to the streams. The streams was cool. A lot of people was in there. He was arguing with a lot of people too. I will say that. The two streams that I seen before he got banned. But he I didn't I was in the chat too. If you see this GTG active, you know, follow me on Twitch. We streaming come Friday. We already did a good stream Tuesday for this double source marks. But yeah, people's getting on for selling them, iconics. That's when I first heard about them. And, I thought, well, I'm not paying no actual money for them, but, I'll give DC cash. When I left, I had a pretty good amount of DC cash. So, I'll give some DC cash. It's just that he was also taxing on that DC cash. But, I found my way around it, and I wound up getting Nemesis and Sunstone, with DC cash. And, man, it sucks. I saw a Hezzy video. I watched the piss out of Hezzy video, just like watch the hell out of his LVDC dying. I watched the piss out of his video, man. he, he was right. You say a lot of polarizing stuff, and people ain't gonna rock with it. And then the constructive criticism, and but he definitely do got an ego on him. He definitely do got an ego on him. But like he said, that's 1,000 skill pointed top 100 account. You don't see 1,000 skill points. I'm when I left, I was at 5. Me coming back, I ain't really been on the skill point thing because I mainly been grinding for to get back relevant. But I'm nowhere near the 5,000. I'm half that. Literally, I'm like 511. So that account wasted. All that time, resources. But I don't feel too bad. Out here in the world. I'm from Detroit, so you out here in the world. You do slippery things. When you get caught, you gotta eat your time. You know what I'm saying? You get caught doing something, it be consequences. Whether LB think it was because he was, talking bad about devs, pissing off people. You know what I'm saying? The devs was pissed at him, and you probably might be lying. He probably knew, you gotta know. And then people come up with receipts and they post the receipts. But I'm gonna say this, LB, that shit was when I heard you was actually posting your stuff in the DC chat. Nah, the official DC chat. I'm not talking about your own stuff. They said you was posting it inside the DC chat of Discord, bro. That's like smoking weed in front of a cop, G. Like that's like smoking weed in front of a cop, G. That's a waste of weed. like what Dave Chappelle said, nigga, that's a waste of weed, G. I ain't get that. I ain't get that. I know when you doing deals, you trying to make that money, you know, and you gotta be smart with it. I'm not condoning illegal activities, and scamming, but gotta be better. You gotta be better. And even though uh, he, he he got that ban hammer, he got permanent ban, they packed him up. He did do good for the community when he did. All right, I'll say when he did. I will say he, a lot of people ain't gonna be mad at you for no reason. So you got to done something. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm about to wrap this all up. I just want to get my 2 cents because it's been, like I said, 10 days since we learned he was banned, and every day in LFG. it's something about ELVY. Now I got this stuff turned off for a second, but just before I made this video, I saw in a joke said, "Hey, don't pull an ELVY, we'll pack you up," or something like that. You get what I'm saying? I'm paraphrasing that. And the other day I was on stream and talking about it. Somebody was talking about willing by the name ELVY. Man, what? I ain't gonna get that name. Willing by the name ELVY. And it was talking about, yeah, I'm happy ELVY gone, man. ELVY and all that. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, it's been about a couple of days. But I know DC's gonna run its course with it. They're gonna drag it till I guess about half a year. Let 6 months go by from the ban. They'll stop talking about them. But I will say this: we never know what the future holds. Never know what the future holds. I'm gonna throw a name out there. Six. The other day I was in five chat, or not five, it's global now. I was in global chat, and it was talking about six. Anybody who been in that type of community, you know who the hell six is. And we thought six was packed up, gone. Now I don't know if he was banned, but he was gone. You know, what's that one Joker dude? Owl Man. We thought he was packed up and gone, but here they are. You get what I'm saying? They come back. So don't be counting buddies out for sure. We don't know how he gonna get the account back if he do get the account back. But or like with six, he was playing the game that I heard he was playing the game and he just low profile in it. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't know who he is, but they said in speculation that yeah, we heard him one day and yeah, he back. So that's it for me, man. I like ELVY, but I do know and understand why he got packed up. And did he deserve to get packed up? Yeah, when you get caught doing stuff you ain't supposed to, I mean, that's what happened. That's the law of the land. Even outside the game. Whether they got proof in this ongoing investigation or not, you got caught. So you get caught, you gotta put your hands up and get packed up. You get packed up. So it's the High Counselor, man. Crazy video, giving my 2 cents. I'm still gonna see this LV stuff in LFG trade, all this stuff. I'm still gonna see it. I'm still gonna hear it in global. I don't really hear it in my own league. You know, let's just sit back and enjoy this time. I like being back to the game. If you're new here, subscribe to my channel. Be doing a lot more DC content on this channel. Also, I'll be playing some Marvel Rivals and some Warhammer. My little brother told me about some game called Crimson Dawn. So I'm gonna see what that game is about. But thanks for hanging out with me. I'll catch you guys later. God bless.